its own logic?
Well, I don't know. So the one we're watching closely is Hong Kong.
Right, we need to discuss. This is something that I think isn't being adequately followed.
It's a big, huge issue.
And is it fair to say that they're just using the coronavirus as a cover to just clamp down even more in Hong Kong?
Well, so the first thing we have to understand is what they are doing, which is they're threatening now to write a law in Beijing, essentially allowing the government to do whatever it wants in Hong Kong.
Last year it was the extradition treaty, which was one issue, and now it's everything.
But that was a law that was actually being proposed in the Hong Kong Summit. This is the Chinese government writing a law essentially saying anytime we want to, we can go and we can combat terrorism and everything, which essentially means we can go in and interfere whatever we want. So why is that a big deal? Because that's a violation. That's an abrogation of the basic law that was agreed to when the British returned Hong Kong to China, and the system that they've operated under forever, which is one country, two systems. That you sovereignty goes to China, but the political and economic system inside of Hong Kong is the people of Hong Kong's business. They are now demolishing that. Now, this goes back to way before the virus, when there were protests against the law and everything else.
Every day.
And we always knew the Chinese at some point were going to come back and crack down. But you asked the magic question, which is why now and why this draconian? And I think the answer is they can pick on Hong Kong and nobody can do anything about it.
Because of the geographic proximity.
Well, because it's part of the country, right?
Right.
And it shows that if you're an enemy of Beijing, you will pay, right? You will suffer for that. So they're telling people, don't get in our way. Hong Kong, that could happen to you. So why do we care? I think the number one reason is Hong Kong is the canary in the mine shaft. Mm-hmm. If this is the way they treat their own people, break their agreements, take away their liberties, what are they going to do to the rest of the world? So we should care about what happens in Hong Kong. We should care about the people of Hong Kong. And the only hope they have is that the world is watching. It's the only possible thing that could even deemed to moderately restrain the Chinese government.
In addition to the fact who the president is. And another president would not exactly be the way this president has been on China. So it's everybody's watching, and we have a person who for at least 20, 25 years has been calling out China for what it is.
And to the administration's credit, the administration has been very tough on this Chinese proposed law. They've been very, very hard on that. And the other thing they've done is they've significantly ramped up engagement with Taiwan, senior engagement, everything else. So they show more support for Taiwan, more support for Hong Kong.
Sending a very clear message. Find out more. Read that study that the people in China, in the government, don't want you to read. Go to heritage.org, join the Heritage Foundation today, and follow this man on Twitter, Jay Carafano. Back with America First after these messages.